Hello and welcome to the Phoebe video. We're a little late to the party, but we finally got her, and we're going to do some testing and give our first impression. I did level her right before I started recording, and I did level up some artifacts. We got I would say, probably around average build on her. The 4 cost is definitely a bit of cope. I more so should probably say a lot of cope. I wanted to start testing, and this is just something I'm going to use for the time being, but we'll definitely be upgrading in the future. This is my only 3 cost that has double crit, and we do have some energy regen. This one only crit damage, no crit rate, and then I do have double crit on both of my 1 costs. So definitely room to improve on this build, considering the fact that we do get a 20% crit rate from this set that we have, the Eternal Radiance set. We're looking at 88, almost 90 crit rate on her own. And that's not even including with the Shorekeeper buff. With Shorekeeper, we're looking at basically 100% crit rate. I do have her on Stringmaster. Weapon is, from what I'm seeing, only about 7% behind her signature weapon. So for the time being, I don't really feel a need to pull on her signature weapon. This is the one we'll be testing with. Let's just take a look at her skills. I did max her Forte and her Liberation. Brought her skill up to 6. I think this should be a good point to just, start testing, and then maybe we may look into raising these a little further. I was taking a peek at the description of the skill trees. Okay, one thing we'll test, I do see that there is a limit to how far you're able to teleport using Phoebe's skill. Okay, so once her prayer is full, which that will just happen naturally, we can either hold basic attack to enter Absolution mode, which is basically her DPS mode, or hold Resonance skill, which would be glowing blue, to enter Confession mode, which would be more of her supportive role. At the current time of the meta in the game, there's really no point in using Phoebe's Confession mode. I mean, debatably, you could use her as a support to Spectro Rover and use Spectro Rover as a DPS, but I think generally speaking you'd be better off using Rover as a supportive role to Phoebe and Phoebe as a DPS rather than the opposite. I'm sure it's still possible to do the opposite, but for the purpose of this video, we're just going to be sticking with Phoebe as the main DPS. I do know that there's speculation or rumors, and I don't know if this is leaks, so I don't know if I want to go into this, but I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about, that a character coming shortly into the mix is speculated to be a Spectro DPS that most likely will be synergizing well with Phoebe. The TLDR between the difference between these two modes, Absolution mode, DPS mode, she does more damage. Her multipliers get a significant bump for her own personal damage, whereas the Confession mode, she definitely does not do as much damage, but at the cost of applying more Spectral Frazzle. So what we're going to be having Spectro Rover do for her for this testing, supporting her and applying Spectral Frazzle, Phoebe will be able to do that same role for another DPS. Oh, wow. Okay, so and then when she's in Confession state, her outro, we are definitely seeing this does look more like a sub DPS support that gives a significant buff. When we do get another Spectro DPS, this outro, this does look like a significant buff that's like very easy to apply and doesn't leave if you were to like switch off. Yeah, also this effect lasting for 30 seconds, kind of cracked. For the sake of this video, I did need to level up a Moonlit Cloud set for Spectro Rover. I would say, I guess, average build. I am borrowing some pieces from other resonators, which is a awesome thing about this Moonlit Cloud set, and also an awesome thing about the new Echo loadouts that we just got. So my 1 costs are looking pretty good. We got double crit and attack rolls, as well as the 4 costs. We got double crit on the substats with the crit rate main stat. We're borrowing all 3 of those from other resonators. We just had to level up new Spectro damage bonus pieces. This one not looking the best. We do have a high crit damage roll, but we don't have any crit rate here, but we do have double crit on this other. This piece is pretty good. Almost 20 crit damage, almost 10 crit rate, which pretty high rolls, and energy regen. definitely attainable after playing the game for a bit. And we will have him on Emerald of Genesis. One thing I want to test real quick before we hop into Tower is looking at the passive of Stringmaster specifically. You know, when dealing a resonance skill, damage increases attack by 12%, stacking up to 2 times. And I know we can cast her skill twice, once to place the ring and second time to teleport to the ring. I'm just curious. I want to see if doing that, hitting the double skill to place the ring and teleport to it, will give us an increase of 24% to our attack, which if that's the case, then that's a specific rotation with Phoebe that we would want to utilize if we're using this weapon specifically. So I'm just going to test that real quick. Okay, 1941. 2159. 2159. Okay, so for some reason the second one doesn't apply our second stack for this passive. Okay, yeah, I'm not really sure why the second skill cast here doesn't apply to this passive, but if anyone knows anything that I don't know, maybe something that I'm missing, please feel free to leave a comment and I'll definitely pin it and bring attention to it. I mean, nonetheless, we do still get the bonus of the one skill cast of 12%, and that will only last for 5 seconds. So for our rotation's sake, we're gonna wanna echo and liberation within those 5 seconds to get a good chunk of damage in while that buff is still up. And then we'll just do the rest of her attack string. One quick thing for Spectro Rover here, if you don't have his sequence nodes maxed out, I didn't when I started recording this, and I had to figure out how to get the last 2 that I needed. You will get 2 sequence nodes from completing the story up until Chapter 1, Act 6, which I think most of us have that done by now. You'll get another one from the rewards here. If you open up Guidebook, go down to milestones, you'll just need to progress this to phase 6. Once you complete phase 6 here, you get another wave band or sequence node. You'll get another one from I'm here in the main hub area of Jinzhou. At this teleport point, you just gotta go this way, and you just gotta collect the Sonance caskets and turn them in here to Chenpi. You'll need to complete level 8. Once you complete level 8, you'll get another wave band there. We need to go to Mount Firmament. To this area here, we'll need to complete through level 5 here of turning in the wind chimes, which are just placed around the map. You get one at level 3 and then the last one at level 5. And so those are all the ways so that you can S6 your Spectro Rover, just to mention that in case anyone out there didn't know how to do it like I did. That's how you get all of them. Also for his build, these are all just increases to his own personal damage, which in this case here, I'm just using him as a supportive role, just as a, almost like how you see people do, you know, Naked Sanhua. We're basically doing Naked Rover here. I mean, we do have some decent stats on his Moonlit Cloud set, but I'm not too worried about this. I just want to see Phoebe's potential in damage. If we were to increase any of these, we would just be increasing Spectro Rover's own damage.
Swift and resolute. The end has come. I sense your weakness. One with the sound.
Sentinel protection. To get over. Be my salvation.
Okay.
Astral modulation. Loading.
Swift and resolute. The hour is upon us. One with the sound.
Sentinel protection. To get crystals. Give me strength.
Boom.
From the heart.
Damn, okay. That low-key felt pretty good. We're gonna go ahead and give her a shot in this other floor, which this one has a bit of multi-wave, so we'll see how she feels in this.
Stay calm. In war with time. Loading.
Swift and resolute. Moment of resonance. No hesitation. One with the sound.
Sentinel protect me. Answer me. Together we.
I sense your weakness. The end has come.
Sentinel protect me. Together we stand. Purified.
Okay, we're just gonna restart. Oops, messed that up.
Modulation. Loading.
Swift and resolute. I sense your weakness. Moment of resonance. One with the sound.
Sentinel protect me. Judgment flow. To Mover. Be my salvation.
Okay, her range is pretty cracked. That's something worth noting.
I engraft in you. Loading.
Swift and resolute. The hour is upon us. One with the sound.
Sentinel protect me. Answer me. Together we stand. Crystals, give me strength.
Holy shit. Damn, okay. Yeah. I mean, that felt pretty crazy. And that was a multi-wave scenario where you would think that she wouldn't feel as good, but I mean, she still cleared pretty comfortably there. I think we had about like 20 or so seconds left, and I know for a fact I actually could have even played that better. There was one moment, I think it was in like my second rotation, where I kind of stalled a bit because I didn't enter Absolution state, and I didn't realize that, and I caught it a little bit after. So I definitely could have played that better, and I still cleared pretty comfortably. Okay, one thing that I was noticing, after doing a full rotation, once I was doing my next rotation, I did have to do the heavy attack to enter Absolution state. I know it said somewhere in a skill about, like, she would never leave the state unless you switch the state, but maybe I misread that somewhere, or there's just a part that I was missing. The other thing I wanted to mention was that the range of her attacks was definitely insane. One thing that makes me think about is that she is going to be very good, especially for the enemies that can be a bit annoying of moving all over the place. If you know, line up everything for your current DPS to do the majority of their damage, like say for example Gion's burst state, you just cast the burst, and then when the Heron does that little like step back, or it steps away from you and then waits a bit and then will do like that suck up ability, I know that can be very frustrating and annoying. Whereas with Phoebe, that literally didn't matter. Like I was still raining on him no matter where he was. She's feeling so easy to play, and she's feeling like such a good DPS. I do have to say I am pleasantly surprised so far. Overall, first impressions, she dishes out a lot of damage. She just does it in a different way. It doesn't look as flashy in terms of having as big of a nuke number as some of the other DPSs do, but she definitely has some strengths that do make her feel good. I just have to say, not to glaze the game, but like low-key I am going to glaze the game a little bit. But what I'm trying to say is about this game that I love so much is, like, honestly, they don't miss with character and kit designs. I didn't have much hype for this character, but now that I got her and I'm using her and like seeing her combat animations, seeing the way she plays out, the way she feels to play, like she feels awesome. I'm surprised at how awesome it is. And honestly, I get that feeling every time we get a new character in this game. We have no two characters that play exactly the same, and that's what I just love about this game. I don't know, they cook so hard when it comes to these kits and the way they treat their combat. You can tell that there's a lot of care that goes into this, and I think that's evident with Phoebe and her design and how she plays. I'm definitely looking forward to using her a bit more, looking forward to seeing how she shapes up when it comes to that confession state, and whenever this game does add in a Spectro DPS that wants Spectro Frazzle. That was my overall first impressions. Please let me know in the comments, did you pull for Phoebe? Did you not pull for her? Why did you pull for her? Why didn't you pull for her? Are you enjoying her? What do you like about her? What do you dislike about her? I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts, and I'm happy to share mine. And thank you for tuning into the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Arrivederci.